You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the Jay Porks Experience. I am Jay Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine. Every week is nobody. I'd like to thank the construction workers outside my house for being dicks and waking me up extra early on my only day off this week. That's true. And I'm also going to give you a couple of things I know are true before I give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. The world is a lot less funnier now that we've lost a comedy legend. Football season has started, and rape culture exists. We'll start with the latter. Last week, let me slow down. I'm always speeding through things. We're not going anywhere. Are you busy? I'm not busy. So let's just chill, light a fire, and talk about this. Let's hash it out. Okay. Last week, pictures of Kate Upton, Jennifer Lawrence, etc. They leaked. I looked. I'm a guy. Now, the internet backlash was absolutely amazing. I'm not sure. I guess I wasn't supposed to look. People are starting to talk about this. They're calling it this rape culture. Because women, some guys are stupid enough to say, well, if you don't want to get raped, then don't dress like that. Have you ever heard that? If you don't want to get raped, then don't dress like that. Well, that's not really an answer to what. That's not really the reason why that person got raped. The person got raped because the rapist is sick in the head and has something wrong with them and doesn't understand that you don't have sex with people that don't want to have sex with you. I mean, that's like basic human 101 to me. You know, don't have sex with people that don't want to have sex with you. If we could all live by that rule, I mean, the world would be a lot better place. But the pictures leaked online, and the elaborate blame game shifts from the obvious fact. This isn't just why it just isn't wise to keep nude photos of yourself on the cloud for them if you don't want them to be made public. Here's the thing. I personally am not giving you my phone to show you the pictures I have on it. Doesn't matter what they are. I'm not showing it to you. That's my private thing. Furthermore, I have never, ever plugged my cell phone into my computer and had it sync with iTunes. That's, first of all, besides the podcast app, where you're listening to the sultry Jay Porks Experience and the rest of the fine talent here on the Deer Network. I mean, besides having the podcast app, iTunes on your desktop computer sucks balls. It slows your whole shit down. It's like if I was lifting weights and I wrapped one of those weighted wristbands around my arm, like adding to it. I don't need that. Every time I plug in, when I used to have the iPod Shuffle, every time I plugged it into my computer to add new songs, it would take like 20 years to fucking do it. There was no point in even doing it. So now with the iPhone, the songs I want, I just buy. You know, I got like 8 songs on there. 8 songs that I bought. There were already and there were songs in the cloud. So I'm not plugging in my phone with pictures into my computer so my pictures can go up into the cloud like that sex tape movie. By the way, an entire movie about the cloud. We're out of ideas, folks. We are out of ideas. But we got these feminists. Now, I love feminists. Wanna know why I love feminists? Because I think feminists are the types of girls I'm gonna have to meet in the future, because those are the girls that will pick me up and not have me pick them up, or so I think, because they're feminists. This idea that I'm not supposed to look at these pictures because they weren't meant for anyone else to see. Nobody, it's not like paparazzi peered through the window and stole them. They took the pictures. The pictures were taken with their knowledge. She's looking right in the camera. Taking selfies. Taking photos with Justin Verlander's bare ass. And people say, women say, and by the way, if I was ever doing an interview, I would never start a sentence with people say, because that's a Stephen A. Smith bad journalist thing. But when I'm talking, I say people say. It's different. Last week I was listening to myself, because I always listen to the podcast after it airs, because I love me some me. And I kept saying people, these people. And I'm like, wait, I don't usually do that. I do usually do that. But I remember that's not, because you hear Stephen A. Smith. It's a prime example. Stephen A. Smith will do it. I'm not sure if he's still suspended from ESPN. But he'll have Isaiah, like a famous athlete who just did something totally fucked up on. Or like Michael Vick. Michael Vick killing dogs. He'll say, people say you could never be forgiven. When Stephen A. is the one who said that statement yesterday. He's just afraid to say that it's him to the athlete's face. Like that, I mean. So, for all of those people who are telling me that me masturbating, like, here's what they'll say. This isn't come on, exaggerated. I hate when I forget words. This is unexaggerated. There are people out there that think that because those leaked pictures, that people have those pictures open on their desktop and they're masturbating to them. And this upsets women, because not all women, the handful of women I ran into on a comment thread on Facebook, and I just read and laughed and laughed and laughed. A handful of women are saying that, these pictures aren't meant for that. You shouldn't be masturbating to that. Let me just pause right there and ask, who is getting off to still frame photos in 2014? Can you tell me? What's next? Are you gonna tell me to throw away the stack of porno mags that are underneath my bed? What year is this? X videos, dude. I could. You know what? We could also do. You can take it to the hub, like in Coolio's new song. Take it to the hub. Don't forget to grab that glove and take it to the hub. Yes, even though he's lost all his hair and he does cooking shows and he's lost all his morals and respectability, he's still preaching safe sex. Don't forget to grab that glove. Take it to the hub. Anyway, that video is totally unsafe for work. This idea that I'm masturbating to Kate Upton's pictures. It's my phone's wallpaper now. That's all. It's nice to have. You can't just accept it. This is the ruthlessness of women. It's either she's fat. It's either if she hit the gym, she'd have a good body, or you shouldn't be looking at that picture. But yet, if photos circulated of Johnny Depp and Channing Tatum, you would not hear a word. You would not hear a whimper. You know what you would just hear? You know what that is? That's bean flicking. Yeah, I went there. That's what it is. You'd hear a lot of bean flicking in the background. Bean flicking and moaning, and Channing Tatum, and Johnny Depp, and Zac Efron pictures. So don't even tell me. It's a double standard. I know men are pigs, but let's not pretend like this isn't what it is. Oh, I don't feel comfortable looking at those pictures because I know that they weren't meant for me. What are you, fucking stupid? But you'll watch ISIS take off a journalist's head, but you don't want to look at Kate Upton's boobs? You see, I try to practice as much hedonism as I possibly could. I only try to take in the good. So if I have a choice between watching ISIS take some journalist's head off and boobs, it's fairly easy to figure out which side I'm going to go on. I can't believe boobs became a bad thing this week. Like one of the hottest girls. I don't do lists. I'm not doing lists. We should do a list. No, that'd be really misogynistic. But maybe this whole conversation is misogynistic because I'm not allowed to enjoy that. I'm not allowed to enjoy the pics because she didn't text them to me. And for all the people saying that Justin Verlander gets off easy because he's getting high fives in the locker room, have you guys ever had a hot girlfriend? I did. And I don't want everyone seeing pictures of her. I don't. What are you kidding? If it's my girl, it's my girl. I don't want to show it off. That's not funny. I don't think Justin Verlander's high fiving his friends. I don't think he's like, hey, did you check that out? I don't think he's like that at all. I just think he's like, damn, everybody in the locker room has seen my girl naked and they didn't have to buy her anything. That's what he's thinking. When the Johnny Depp dick pics show up and I don't hear the bean flicking, when that doesn't happen, I won't call this a double standard. This is sexism in the reverse way. I'm sorry. And it's not the same as don't dress that way. Like Ricky Gervais said, don't. I think Ricky Gervais said don't take pictures if you don't want them to get out there. See, that's stupid. But you can easily not plug them into the cloud. You can email them to yourself and then delete them from your phone. You could email them to your dummy email account and then just delete them from your phone. Like, even every time. Let me just say this: every time I open my phone in public, I'm like, oh fuck, like this shit is. I hope nobody's looking at me because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I did last night. Email them to yourself, delete them from the phone, and somebody explain to me how exactly the cloud works. Am I explaining it right? Or is my stuff already in the cloud because I signed up to have the phone plan? I've never plugged it into my computer. So, the anti-feminists taking America back to 1950 and not allowing us to have boobs. See boobs. Also, like, it's like saying make it harder for hackers to steal your credit card by not having a credit card. That's nothing short of riding the short bus to school. It's 2014, yeah, people have debt. People have student debt that they're never going to get out of. Like John Oliver said last night. I mean, my solution of don't put your... See, Lena Dunham from the show Girls, she's an active feminist, says the don't take naked pics of yourself if you don't want them online argument is the she was wearing a short skirt of the web. Ugh. No, it's not. Just because you have a semi-hit show doesn't mean that your opinion is valid. Just don't take naked pictures of yourself and don't put them on the cloud. Have all the naked pictures you want. Just don't put them on the cloud. That's all I'm saying. And that's it with boobs for today. I mean, it's wrong for me to look at these pictures, and I don't want to defend this guy, but it's wrong for me to defend those pictures, to look at those pictures because they were taken in the privacy of somebody's own home, but they can make Donald Sterling sell his basketball team because of racist remarks that he made in the privacy of his own home that was recorded by his ex-widow. Let's just call it like it is. I'm not down with racism, but it's the same. It's not the same thing, but it's on the same plane. They took his basketball team, so I can't see the boobs. If they can take his basketball team, I want to see your tits. That's it. And this whole idea that because these pictures came out, and the reaction of the internet, and the fappening, and the Reddit thread that just got taken down about 7 hours ago, this whole idea that it proves, quote unquote, that men actually run the universe after all. Let me stop you right there. Men don't run the universe. Men don't have vaginas. If you don't want to say that women run the universe, okay. You know who runs the universe? People with information. People like Donald Sterling's mistress. People like Anonymous. People like the hackers who hack these phones. People like the people trying to hide the WikiLeaks and the whistleblower guys. People who control information have power. It's just like any good hip-hop diss record. The most accurate ones are the ones that are the best ones. You have to stick to accuracy, and let's call a spade a spade. People with information run the world, and that's always going to be the case. You're never going to live in a place where the world is not run by information. All right, moving on. Because I'm not breaking yet. The world is a lot less funnier now that Joan Rivers is gone. Comedy legend, Joan Rivers, dies at 81. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jay, 2 weeks ago, you yelled at us for mourning Robin Williams. Why are you mourning Joan Rivers? I'll tell you why. One of them was funny. But in all seriousness, Joan Rivers, we understand, she's more well known now for having plastic surgery on her face several times and all over her body several times. But if you think back of women in comedy, you have Lucille Ball, and then you have Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is the bridge to every female stand-up comic. Every one. There is no female stand-up comedy the way it is today without Joan Rivers getting on stage, being as brash as she was, as early as she was. How early, do you ask? Well, in the late 1950s, she played a lesbian in the short-run play Driftwood. A lesbian who had a crush on a then unknown Barbra Streisand. The play ran for 6 weeks. And as it was going on, she performed at various comedy clubs around Greenwich Village. And she guest hosted the Tonight Show that was hosted before Johnny Carson took over the Tonight Show. She was guest hosting the Tonight Show. So she cut her teeth doing stand-up comedy in the 50s and 60s. Now in the 50s, if women had opinions, they were sent to the psychologist and put on depression medicate. Like that, like, the whole Mad Men like lifestyle. That's what it is. That's what it was back then. But she's on stage. I was watching Joan Rivers live on the Carol Burnett show in 1974, and she's talking about how second wives get a bigger ring. That she could tell by looking at the ring if you're a first wife or a second wife. It's 1974. This wasn't like last week. And she's up there and she would always self-deprecate too. It was like she was making fun of people, but she was making fun of herself too. And she did it like a guy, like any guy who goes up there and does it now. Groundbreaking, legendary. Hosted the Tonight Show. She had Late Night with Joan Rivers, and it was a short-run late night show. But on YouTube, anytime I say on YouTube, it's going in the notes. I'll share it. She had the Beastie Boys on, and she also had Husker Du on. Back on her show back in the day. So you can let's just say 20 years ago Joan Rivers went into a home and you never heard of her again until now when she died. You didn't need to. Seriously, think about it. Think about I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball. That she's like Lucille Ball had like 6 sitcoms because she was the only woman who was funny at the time. Women weren't funny. They didn't, they were proper. Joan Rivers, rest in peace. The world is a lot less funnier. And you know what? Football season has started. I know. Listen, I'm not happy about it either, but we got to deal with what we have to deal with in this life. So football season started, and I've got 3 suspensions I want to talk to you about. 3 suspensions, one I've already spoken about. That call to the carpet, the NFL, and I want to know why the NFL is such hypocritical motherfuckers. Josh Gordon, wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, failed his second drug test for marijuana. Okay. He already failed once, faced a 6-game suspension. Now he's got a year suspension. His appeal was overturned. So he's not getting it. He's not getting it appealed. He's not getting it lessened. Smokes weed. Failed drug test. Suspended from the NFL for 1 year. 16 games. If you're wondering what he's going to do this year, because I think it's an unpaid suspension. I think. Because the NFL, the money's not guaranteed. He's going to sell cars at a Cleveland dealership. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. That's what he's going to do. That's crazy. The guy was like the top 5 fantasy football player last year. And because he smoked a plant that's legal in 2 states to buy in stores and legal in over 5 states to be medically prescribed to, a year suspension from the National Football League. Ray Rice beats his wife 2 games. 2 games. Now, what's worse? Inhaling smoke from a plant that was put here by God, basically, or laying a hand on a woman? I mean, I don't know. And by I don't know, I mean I totally definitely know that smoking weed should not merit a year suspension. I don't care if you did it 17 times. It's a plant, dog. I don't know. When is the world going to stop? I'll take it one further. Okay, so, obviously the commissioner wants to protect the integrity of the NFL by keeping these drug addicts away from the game. And that's good. What about Colts owner Jim Irsay? Yeah, I went there. Jim Irsay was driving in Indianapolis doing his best Jay Porks impression. He had several prescription drugs that were not his. Plus he was high. Plus he was drunk. He got arrested. He went to rehab for like a month. The rehab for rich. See, there's two kinds of rehab. There's court mandated rehab where you go and it's like you go there instead of going to jail. And then there's rich people rehab where basically you just go on a vacation for a month and you hang out in this big mansion on the beach and you think about things and you contemplate and you draw in the sand and you express how things make you feel. And more importantly, you figure out how not to get caught doing the things you're doing again. Jim Irsay had multiple bottles of narcotics on him that were not in his name. Dude, you are the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. You're the owner of the team. You're one of the richest men in America. You're telling me that you don't have a doctor on your payroll to write the prescription in your name, or B, pay a guy to carry your illegal stuff around? How stupid are people? That's almost as dumb as, I don't know, putting nude pictures in your fucking iCloud. Jim Irsay's going around impersonating Jay Porks. He only got 6 games. Josh Gordon's impersonating a 14-year-old Jay Porks, and he got a year. Something is wrong with the picture, especially if we're talking about the integrity of the NFL. This is an owner. This is an owner. This is like not, like if you're looking and the cops pull up to a house and like the son gets in trouble for like vandalizing a wall down the street. Like, yeah, that's okay. Kids will be kids. This is like if you go to the house and the parent was vandalizing the wall. And then because it's the parent got less of a punishment because it's an adult. It doesn't make sense to me. Jim Irsay should be banned from the NFL for a year. He shouldn't be in his stadium. He shouldn't be able to watch a game. He shouldn't be able to go to any public event that involves the NFL or the Shield because he's an embarrassment to the league. An embarrassment. You're an owner of a football team. The football team has a team doctor, don't they? Go to the team doctor. Say, hey, listen, here's some money. Put the pills in my name. How hard is that? I'm like baffled by that. I'm baffled by that story. He got 6 games. He doesn't even play football. What are you banning him from? The stadium? He's probably going on vacation anyway. I'll go watch the games from Honolulu. Are you kidding? He doesn't play. Owners don't. Jerry Jones is at every game. Owners don't go to games if they don't have to. See Woody Johnson at games? I don't know. I don't watch the games. I can't believe Jim Irsay was doing his best Jay Porks impression and only got 6 games. If they found me with half of one of those pills on me in the street, I'd be in jail for 6 years, let alone not being able to play football for 6 games or watch football for 6 games. It's complete lunacy. Back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Andy from the Andy Dare Show here. Just want to say that I am super proud to have the J Porks Experience be part of Dare Network. And if you want to keep my little podcast network completely free, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com, look on the right-hand side of the page, and you'll click on the Amazon banners for all your Amazon needs, and you'll tip your cap to the J Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here on Dare Network. Also, be sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JPorks, Instagram at JPorks, and jporks.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for listening, and back to the J Porks Experience.
And we are back. I just want to say, do you know, like, I spend the first half ranting on things, and then there's the little break, and Andy comes and he says, "Hey, everybody." And, like, it's just like a calming. It seems like, all right, guys, everybody settle down. Hey, everybody, I'd like to thank you for. And I love that part. It's great. Every time I'm listening to myself, which I do all the time because I'm full of myself, and I hear that part come up that you just heard, that's, hey, everybody. Like, Andy is so calm with it. Just, I'm in full control. Me, you hear me talking, and it's like, it feels like my life is about to come off its hinges at any moment now. And Andy's just like, hey, everybody. It's just, I love it. So I just wanted to, I've been thinking I wanted to say that on the podcast for a while, and I finally got to do it. Let's get to the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. We've got concertconfessions.com. This is like Brooklyn to me. It's where I was born and bred. And that's where you'll get all your live music news and reviews for the fans, by the fans. And new stuff going up. We got Doyle. Doyle was the guitarist in the Misfits, and now he tours with Danzig? Yeah, I believe so. Anyway, got him at the Whiskey A Go Go. We also got Repeat in Edwardsville, Illinois. And the night before that, we have Theory of a Dead Man at the Pit at the pageant in St. Louis. And we're going to have more stuff coming your way this month. You know what upsets me? Later this month, the Black Keys do 2 nights with Cage the Elephant at the Barclays Center. They do a Tuesday and a Wednesday. I'm off on Wednesday. Of course, that's the day that's sold out. I work on Tuesday. It's the busiest night of the week. There's still tickets available for that show. Sorry. The tickets aren't even expensive, and I'd love to go, but I can't afford to give up the possibility of a $160 night, plus whatever I paid for the concert tickets. So, unless some tickets to the Wednesday show become available, I'm going to have to miss that, and the next thing I'm seeing is Kasabian on the 27th. ChristinaRocks.com, Hang the DJ, 89xradio.com, every Sunday, doing the old school alternative like it's Thursday, only on Sunday. And I turned her on this morning. I turned her on Sunday to hear some. What did I get? I came in on the Cult Rain, and I got shouted out, and I was happy about that. Ooh, we had some James in the 11 a.m. hour. Wilco, damn, man, all these bands are old school. That's so weird. Jamiroquai. Oh man. Okay. If anyone knows where I can buy that hat that Jamiroquai wore in that video, where he's on, he's kind of on the treadmill as well. It's like before OK Go did it. Jamiroquai did it. So there's that, and you can get her on Twitter at Christina Rocks, no H, and tweet at her random things like, hey Christina, what do you think this cloud looks like? See what she says. I don't know. Give her things to do. or you can listen to a show, give our unsolicited requests, whatever you need to do. Ooh, Iggy Pop, Lust for Life in the 9 a.m. hour. Also, of course, the Andy Deer Show for all your podcast needs, whether it's the sultry, sweet molasses of the J Porks experience, whether it's the Andy Deer Show, whether it's the Tyler Kale Show, whether it's anything else we feel like bringing to you because we're full of content. We're like a packed envelope full of content. And the headlines every week are powered by Antiquiet. Your source for quality is antiquiet.com. You could stream the new Mastodon and Gibby Haynes collaboration, Atlanta. And we'd like to thank Adult Swim for bringing these two insane rockers from south of the Mason-Dixon line together. Flying Lotus returns with Kendrick Lamar on Never Catch Me. We have Dot Hacker performing Floating Up the Stairs at Blind Tiger's Speakeasy Studio. And we also have new music from the Vaselines. Yes, I got in on the news action as well this week. So if you want to watch the Vaselines fly kites in tight leather in a new video for the song High Tide, Low Tide, the first single off their new album, V for Vaselines, then you can go to antiquiet.com, look for that, hit like on it, because, the only things I write about are J Mascis and the Vaselines, and so you gotta like that. That's my niche. That's my corner. That's what I do. That's what I does. Also, what else do we got going on here? I know there's other things. Also, we've got it's this week. It's been 11 years since Warren Zevon passed, the late great Warren Zevon. As I salute him every week with my whiskey weed, Warren Zevon send off. We've got that. Also, Mike Watt from the Minutemen and my circle of friends. It's odd to say that, but it's true. Is playing 53 shows in 53 days with, you know what? It's an Italian group I can't pronounce, or it might be a guy. Il Sogna del Marino, or some shit. It's funny because I serve Italian food for, I don't know, 8 years of my life, and I've never learned how to pronounce the thing. Also, there's a Moms Against Molly Twitter handle. You should follow it. Moms vs. Molly. It's got 1,000 followers, and its objective is to learn how EDM and ecstasy are killing our country. And hashtag ban EDM. And it says, Ravers, sticks and stones may break bones, but the Molly will kill you. Okay, whatever. Moms Against Molly. I'm down. As long as someone else is out there hating that music. Because it's not like that Twitter page says EDM would be good if it wasn't for Molly. It just says that the whole genre is killing itself with drugs. But come see my laptop live. What else we got? I mean, Lee Ronaldo and the Dust. No, Lee Ronaldo solo guitar plays for Sonic Youth guitarist Lee Ronaldo has some solo dates in Europe, and there's Aaron Freeman, formerly Gene Ween. Aaron Freeman is claiming that Brooklyn Vegan has some exclusive video of the first show of the Freeman tour at in Brooklyn. Is it at the Brooklyn Bowl? Let me scroll up here. Scroll up. I want to say that it is, but When I say things, they're usually wrong. Anyway, the point is, Gene Ween, the artist formerly known as Gene Ween. Let me explain something to you. It ain't exclusive. Somebody else has the video online. Wanna know how I know? Because it's the internet, and that's what people do. That's what people do. They record your shit at shows, whether you like it or not. But yeah, I don't know. Like I try to. I don't know what I haven't listened. I listened to like one new song by the Aaron Freeman project. I think it's just called Freeman, and I just get mad every time. I just don't like the way that Ween broke up. I don't like that he called Rolling Stone before he called the guys in his band. I just don't like how that went down, and I'll always have a sour taste in my mouth because of that. And when I hear the band's Dean Ween, when Dean Ween does music, the, all I have to do is hear a couple of chords, and I know it's awesome. I heard one Freeman song. It seemed like I was like, okay, I hope there's a rockin' song on here. But whatever. He's clean and sober. Yay, clean and sober. Hooray, sobriety. And finally today, I'm not sure if this will be finally, but I'll mention it. You thought we were gonna go a whole podcast without talking about weed? Well, you'd be wrong if that's what you thought. If that's what you thought, you thought wrong. You thought wrong. But before that, Ryan Adams has announced upcoming shows in New York and Austin. This is coming from Jambase. He just put out his album. Tomorrow he's going to release his long-awaited self-titled 14th studio album. Tonight there's an album release party if you're listening to this, then this was last night. 9:30 Club in Washington on Monday. Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, November 22nd and 23rd. And he's going to perform Austin City Limits live at the Moody Theater on October 23rd. Those are the only dates right now. And September 11th, this Thursday, September 11th, Ryan Adams returns to The Late Show with David Letterman. Letterman, always a fan of Ryan Adams. Looks like there's another NFL player who just got suspended. Justin Blockman, wide receiver for, I want to say, the Jacksonville Jaguars, has an indefinite ban for smoking weed. Weed isn't even a performance enhancer. It's not even steroids. Who cares? Do you ever hear of any baseball players getting caught smoking weed? No. And I'll take it one further. You mean to tell me that no, this might be a racist thing. I don't know. You mean to tell me that nobody in the NBA smokes weed? That's just not something they test for. Come on now. When I think high school basketball courts, I think basketball courts, handball courts, stoners. They're all in the same little triangle there. And speaking of weed, there's a drought in California. And if you're in California, you know that there's a drought in California. But I just read somewhere that California's drought is going to result, like they asked the guy who's in charge, they asked the guy, some guy who's the head of some corporation that knows this stuff. They said, how is this going to affect the quality of product in California? And he's like, it's not, because we're just going to keep all the good stuff and we're going to mail out all the stuff that's not as potent due to the drought is going to be shipped out to other states because California is quote unquote an export state. Thanks, Cali. You're going to keep the good stuff and you're going to send us the garbage? So, hey, Rain gods. This is me drumming. That's my rain dance. That's my rain dance. And no, I don't play for the Washington Redskins. Just change the name of the team. So stupid. We're still fighting about this? Now Dan Snyder's trying to trick them into building him a new stadium. That's the deal. He says, "All right, I'll change the name. Just get me a new stadium." You're like one of the richest owners in the league. The name is racist. Just change it. I don't go around calling people Redskins because it's racist. If it didn't offend people, if it didn't offend, if it didn't offend people, people wouldn't be offended, right? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know life is offensive, but come on. You got like 99% of the people of the general public wanted to change the team. Change the name of the team. Just change the name. Stupid. Okay. Did you see the Jets snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? They tried so hard to lose that game. So hard. And people say, and I commented on the the Jets shared a photo on Facebook, like going into the half, they were winning, and I commented on it. I'm like, this team sucks. It's terrible. Some guys like, you're such a fair weather fan. Go root for some other team. Keep your negativity away. You're not a real fan. Let me tell you something about what a real fan is. In 1993, I sat in that stadium. I sat there and watched the Jets and the Colts play each other. I watched them play games that would be the score. Let's just say it was 9-6, 10-9, 10-7. The action packed. This team was terrible. I cut my teeth with this team since I was a child. Don't you dare tell me to go root for another team when half the people telling me this are probably people that just started rooting for the Jets when Rex Ryan became the coach. I was there for Richie Kotite. And Richie Kotite's wife worked in my school and I gave it a business during the week. That's how far back I go. So don't tell me. Alright, Pete Carroll. Remember when Pete Carroll was the coach of the Jets? I was at the games. I was at the games. I was not doing my homework. I was getting home at 9 o'clock at night. I was in the car with my dad when the car literally died on the George Washington Bridge. And literally, the only reason we made it home is because we made it past the halfway point in the bridge and then we started going downhill and the car can move. The car literally died. I left at halftime when they came I left at halftime so many times when they came back. I stayed there so many times when they lost. I wore a Boomer Esiason jersey throughout my elementary school years. So don't you dare tell me to change teams like I'm some fair weather fan like Fireman Ed or something. Don't you dare tell me that. I'm a real Jets fan because I know there's no future. This team's going to win 4 games this year. And if they win more than 6, you can have my version of the Kate Upton selfies. I'll take them. I swear to God I will. I promise you. Because they're 1-0 now. In 9 weeks, they'll be 3-7. Go to your bookie, mark that down. Put everything on that. Because I guarantee that that's how it is. Here's some of the quarterbacks the Jets face over the next 7 weeks. Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. That's 4 losses. So you're going to win another 11 games. You got 11 more games with the Raiders. You beat the Raiders, guys. And you committed about 10 penalties. And Geno Smith, someone explain to me when this guy is better than Mark Sanchez. Because I saw him turn the ball over twice in the first half, and it looked like last year. And then the trickery with we bring Michael Vick in the game to pitch it to him so he can try to throw it to somebody else when we got 3 running backs and no quarterbacks. Just run the ball up the middle. You got Chris Johnson, run the ball up the middle. And they tried to give it away. If Oakland would have got the onside kick, they would have scored. Derek Carr looked good. The only rookie quarterback starting, he looked good. Meanwhile, Geno Smith in his second year, I know you're going to look at the numbers. See, the people, I'm not playing fantasy football this year, so the numbers don't really matter to me that much. If you got a league that you want me in, let me know. I'll join because I'm feeling very vacant. But like, if you look at the numbers, 23 of 29, this many yards. Yeah, he threw a pick. He fumbled on the 5-yard line. We should have won that game by 20, not by 6. The ineptitude of this offense. But yet on the Facebook page, fans are going to tell me that I'm a fair weather fan. I'm getting told that by some kid who's 21 years old. Some kid who, when I was explaining to my teacher that I didn't do my homework because I was crying that the Jets didn't fucking win when I was at the game, this kid wasn't even a fucking a drop of semen in his father's sack. But he wants me to switch teams. That's not how it works. Ask Met fans. But this is the first year I was not excited. Like, usually, I get that tingling feeling. Like, wow, football. You know? Because my team is good until they start playing. Not the case this year. Not at all excited. And now I work 4 o'clock on Sundays. So, basically, if the Jets play at 1 o'clock, I get to watch the first half. And I have to leave. Like, so once the game starts getting interesting is when I have to leave. And then by the time I get to work, the game is over. So it's tough for me to get excited. And then I sit in a restaurant, I work in a restaurant, and it's Sunday, and for some reason Sunday is a sucky day. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't think people come out to eat on Sunday. Barely make any money. And I'd love to give up the Sunday, but I probably can't afford to give up the Sunday. Even though I make $20 a Sunday, it's $20 I need. I know that sounds insane, but just the struggle is real. So that's why when you're at like concertconfessions.com and when you're at the AndyDeerShow.com, that's why it's encouraged for you to click the Amazon ads. Because if Andy and I and Tyler can figure out some way to get some additional cash flow coming in, then maybe I could not work on Sundays anymore. I don't know what they would do, but I mean, I would like to not work Sundays anymore. That would be my goal. To not have to work Sundays. Every week when I stop recording, I always say, fuck, I should have done that. So I'll just do finally with I'll hit you finally with this. Before last week tonight, I saw a commercial for Dave Grohl's Sonic Highways series. Oh my god, what a load of bullshit. It's so pretentious. I saw him, I swear to god, Dave Grohl was sitting down with Barack Obama talking it out. Like, listen, Barack Obama seems like a cool dude, Like, if I wanted to talk about who won the battle between Jay-Z and Nas, I'd ask I'd ask Obama. I'd try to, because he probably has some information towards that. He blasts Jay-Z in his car. It's a fact. Barack Obama listens to the Foo Fighters? Do you want me to vote Republican? I mean, you're making me regret that decision here. I didn't know Barack Obama likes the Foo Fighters. If he does, he's a lot more boring than I thought he was. Look at these sonic highways that connect music and life in America. Oh my god, release it on a DVD already. You got a TV series? Oh boy. So, I'm going to tell you that in about a month or so, the Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters are going to take over the world. Again. Sad kitty emoticon. And Ronnie Pigpen McKiernan would have been 69 today. Pigpen was I want to say the keyboardist in the Grateful Dead. And he died at the age of 27. He's a member of the 27 Club. Now, he's seminal because my dad not stopped listening. My dad says he stopped going to Grateful Dead shows like nuts after Pigpen died. Pigpen's a turning point. And breaking, it's raining in California. Yes! Come on, rain! See? I did the rain dance, and it happened. Folks, it happened. My buddy Linda Kite just clued me in that it is raining in California. Oot oot! But I mean... So Pigpen, 27 Club. When I told my dad he was a member of the 27 Club, he goes, Pigpen was only 27? He looked like he was fucking 50. He would have been 69 today. So there you go. I also, I've only got about 3 months left to join the 27 Club, so if anyone wants a party, make me famous, let me know. Alright. I'm tapped out here. I am tapped. You know what? Yeah. Yes. I promise. Your life was written. Remember that. Alright. I'll give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business before I get up on out of here and go hang out with some Jim Irsay type folks. Okay. We've got concertconfessions.com. That's for all your live music news and reviews for the fans, by the fans. Go there, click the Amazon ads, read stuff, join our family. Why share your photos and videos and words on Facebook with people that aren't going to see it for another 4 days when you can share it on concertconfessions.com and there's a good chance your favorite band can read about it? Go to ChristinaRocks.com. That's Christina with no H. And you could also hear her every Sunday morning from 8 to noon, 89xradio.com. You could also go to theandydeershow.com for the aforementioned Andy Deer Show, Tyler Kale Show, Jay Pork's Experience. Also need you to click those Amazon ads. Please, please, please do that. You're going to buy stuff anyway. Buy it for me. Buy me a Jamiroquai hat. I don't care. I'll wear it. And the headlines are always powered by Antiquiet. That is your source for quality. Till next week, folks. Remember, it's been 11 years since this man died. I want you to drink some whiskey, have some weed, and listen to Warren Zevon. Ow! Late.
This has been the Jay Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.